Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you watch an episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we're talking about Rey's parentage. Apparently, in an interview recently with The Vulture, they asked Daisy Ridley about Rey's parentage, and specifically whether or not Jyn Erso's character in Rogue One was going to be her mother. And Daisy Ridley kind of thought about it and was like, well, I don't know if that would make any sense because Darth Vader's there. It should be my great-grandmother or my grandmother or something. So
clearly that's not. But, I mean, I don't think she really had to debunk that. Come on, people.
Yeah.
They didn't even have Rogue One in mind when they wrote Force Awakens. Not that they couldn't co-opt it.
Yeah.
But
I think that kind of shoots down those theories that she could be her mother.
First of all, a lot of people think Jyn Erso's going to die at the end of Rogue One. So.
Yeah, which is fair. Because why wasn't she in episode 4 then? Anyways.
Actually, I read this fan theory that anyone who survives Rogue One, they get captured at the end and like put in the Death Star cell blocks. So like,
when they
Han Solo and Luke are like, hey, maybe we should check the other cell blocks. Nah, there's no one in there, and then they blow it up.
Man, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, bummer.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. They're coming back. They'll be back.
Yeah, the rebels will be back for us for sure. Okay, so then on top of that, they asked her sort of like if Obi-Wan if she was going to be related to Obi-Wan in any way, and she said, I don't know, we'll have to wait a year to find out. Mm-hmm. So she didn't really flat out debunk that one as much as she debunked the Jyn Erso one. Mm-hmm. So that kind of is like leaves you up to sort of the thought that maybe she is going to be related to Obi-Wan, or if not, like that's at least more of a plausibility that she's like considering it and saying, you know what, just wait in a year, we'll find out.
Well, I can picture her saying that with like a bit of a smirk on her face, kind of just like, we'll see.
Yeah.
And walking away, you know.
Well, so I mean, I guess in this point though is that it kind of seems to be implied that they might touch upon Rey's parentage again in episode 8. At least you get a bit more of an answer, even if it's not necessarily like an exact answer in episode 8. They'll probably touch upon it a little bit, such that they'll give you a little bit more to go on, which is kind of what everyone I think is hoping for.
Well, yeah, I mean, my personal theory is I don't know if we're really going to get much info on Rey's parents in the trilogy itself. I don't think it matters who her parents are. The only thing I can think of that might change that is all this expectation from fans now. They want, there's got to be some twist. I think the scene with Maz Kanata where Maz Kanata says to her, your parents are not, whoever you're waiting for, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
This is your family now. You have a chance here. Go with these guys. This is your family now.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, almost like, you know, if you consider that maybe Maz is a bit either clairvoyant or just has like the wisdom of having lived for 1,000 years, she knows that that's kind of like almost like foreshadowing that, like, yeah, the parents are not coming back, and it doesn't matter who they are. The point is, she's an orphan. So I have a suspicion that maybe they didn't ever intend to answer that question.
Yeah, but I mean, if she was related to Obi-Wan, obviously he's not coming back for her because he cares. I think the point is, even if that's true, we're gonna find out a bit more about that in episode 8. Like, I feel like her not knowing and asking Maz Kanata already, it kind of implies that she's still curious about it, and it would be weird if she just completely dropped it without ever trying to find out herself. So I think she is going to like continually like look, maybe even ask Luke if he knows anybody like about who her parents are, maybe if she even thinks that he could be like her parent or something. I feel like she would ask that question.
I don't know why she would do that though. Why? Like, I know Luke is like, oh, he's wise, he's a Jedi, but it's like, I don't know, you're some orphan from some sand planet. And
yeah,
but still.
But like, she knows that she's particularly strong with the Force enough to overpower Kylo Ren. She might be curious about why she feels like she's so strong with it and is able to mind control somebody so quickly.
That's true, especially since Luke will be like, I come from a strong family in the Force and stuff.
So I think like she might ask him, he might not even be able to give her an answer at all or something, but she's going to be somewhat naturally curious enough that we'll find out a little bit more in this movie. I also think that we're not going to find out much. I think we're going to get like a little bit more of hints, and then
probably
if we find out anything, it'll be episode 9.
Yeah, I think probably most of the details on their parents will be fleshed out in the expanded universe, to be honest. But really, all she's saying is, like, we'll find out in a year, and that could mean, like, we'll find out either way. We'll find out that there's nothing in episode 8 about my parents, or we'll find out there's something. So it could, she doesn't really answer the question.
She just,
which is exactly what you have to do in these types of interviews, where it's like, I can't talk about the movie, but you're asking me very specific questions, so I have to answer the question without answering it at all. Yeah. It's just like, wait and see.
Well,
that's all she said.
She answered enough to, like, for sure to know that Jyn Erso won't be her mother.
Yeah, well,
but
I mean, come on.
I know, but still.
People think Mace Windu's Snoke. I guess they might think Jyn Erso's her grandma.
That's true.
Come on, guys, you're better than that. But anyway, though, I guess there's a lot to go on there. There's a whole layering thing to. I don't know where I'm going with that. Are we done here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we ready, Mike? You can play with the layers some more if you want, but layers.
An idea will conjure in my hands if I do this long enough. All right. So I guess there's a lot to go on there, or maybe nothing to go on there. I guess it's up to what you bring to it, and of course, we can keep speculating forever. I think you're right though. Once episode 8 is out and the dust settles, then we'll have a better idea. Even if there's like one hint, maybe it'll rule out that Luke is her father.
Yeah. Even
just that, it's like, okay, thank you. We can cross that off the list, and now let's go further down. The
Death Star explosion made him impotent or something, but, you know. There you go. That rules it out.
All right.
You heard it here first. The fan theory. Death Star and sperm count.
Wasn't there? There was a reference to like ray shielding when they're going through the. Oh, that was a magnetic field, radiation field. We're passing through the radiation field. We're all impotent now. It's the sacrifice, boys. Okay. Anyway, though, thanks for watching, guys. Leave comments what you think of this. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next episode.